Hello everyone and welcome back. So what makes a museum visit great? Not just interesting, but fantastic. One of those experiences that stays with you, that you talk about for a long time afterwards, that somehow feels personal. Because I think we all know it's not just about having the most fantastic objects ever or the most amazing architecture or stories even. What really matters, it's what's going on in here, or in here if you like, in your heart. It is, in other words, psychology at play. And I thought it was about time that we had a look at what really happens. What is the psychology behind creating a really, really good museum experience? As always, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and add your comments below. Let's dive into this. At the very basic is the core psychological need. You can call it agency or autonomy. It's one of the most overlooked factors in a great museum experience, and that's actually something very simple. It's feeling like you are in control of your own journey. Psychologists have a tendency, I think, of calling it autonomy or self-determination. It's the joy of exploring on your own terms. And we have some good examples of this in the sector, like museums that offer choices, so different routes or interactive elements, multiple entry points, for example. It's also spaces that let visitors linger or perhaps skip something. Even small things like movable seating can create a feeling of freedom and like I decide myself, it's my choice what I want to do here. There's also something about the cognitive ease versus the cognitive challenge. The sweet spot really between ease and effort, that's what this is all about. Psychologically, we love it when things feel just challenging enough. So if it's too hard, we are disengaged. If it's too easy, we are easily bored. So great museum design creates little moments of curiosity or puzzle solving, but without overwhelming visitors. So for example, objects that invite closer inspection, interpretive layers, captions, audio, digital, personal stories, where you can dive deeper into a story. Also, small discovery moments are really, really great for capturing this. Emotional permission and safe spaces. There is something even more subtle here, the psychological safety. We don't always talk about this in museums, but it really matters. Visitors need emotional permission to feel things, to wonder, to feel sadness, joy, even confusion. Museums do this through storytelling with vulnerability. It's human voices, it's humor or compassion, for example. It's spaces that feel welcoming rather than intimidating. It's staff that's approachable, for example. All of those tiny little things matter immensely for how we feel safe in our psychological experience. Another really important factor is that of memory anchors and the peak-end rule. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman talks about this. How we don't really remember things or remember experiences as a whole, but we do remember the peaks and the endings. So the highlights, the climax, if you like, and the endings. So in a museum, that could be things like a beautiful final gallery or an unexpected interactive moment. It can be a view, it can be a sound, a ritual, like writing a message or leaving a thought behind. It can even be a cup of coffee with a view, for example. Curating for memory is curating for those emotional peaks. And that's very, very important to remember. Where is your emotional peak in your museum experience? I also wanted to mention the role of identity and recognition in this, because we love places that see us, where we see ourselves reflected or feel like our story matters. And this can be like inclusive representation, personal connection points, invitations for visitors to contribute or respond. It can also be flexible interpretation that allows multiple perspectives to be shown within the story. A great museum experience isn't just about the past, it's about who I am right now in this space. How did this experience, this story I have just been to see, how did that form the space that I'm living in now, the society, the community, the time that I'm now part of? In other words, how did I become me in all of this? And that's the personal touch at play here, and the recognition of that identity. So yes, objects matters, stories matter very much indeed, design, all of that matter, of course, to the overall museum experience. But the real secret of a great museum experience is what happens inside the visitor. And that is all about designing for that personal touch, for the emotion, also for the curiosity, and for the challenge in expanding horizons, and in challenging but also displaying and reflecting reality and identity within an experience. And I think if we can start discovering and discussing the psychology behind great museum experiences even more, then we can design experiences that stay with people even after they have left the building, and experiences that become part of a person's memory. Let me know your thoughts around this, and have you had a truly great museum experience that really stayed with you? And if so, why? What happened in that experience? Where did you feel those psychological peaks or perhaps endings that really, really mattered and stood out to you? Please share your thoughts on this.